Welcome back, everybody.
Today we're doing Whitney Houston.
Whitney Houston, like we said yesterday. And Chris, I know we like to connect people. We just did Rod Stewart. Could you find a connection?
I have nothing.
How about that third album?
Alright, so I'm your baby tonight, and Rod Stewart said, "Tonight I'm yours." Alright.
You're right, you have nothing.
Yeah. Alright, now, since getting started with Whitney Houston, I have one thing to say.
What's that?
Crack is whack.
Don't do drugs.
I had no idea that she started that phrase.
No, she said she saw it somewhere else.
Okay,
but she popularized it.
Yeah, I guess that, yeah, I think she did that.
Yeah. So, yeah. I noticed this. All the popular interviews with Barbara Walters. Is that what it was? Barbara Walters.
Yeah.
Were not good. At least not for her. Not for Charlie Sheen.
Yeah. That was one interview, and then she also later did one with Oprah Winfrey, of course.
Oprah's the one I knew. Wasn't her song "I'm Every Woman"? Oprah put it on her show as her theme song. I didn't watch Oprah. I thought I remembered Oprah using that for a lot of her shows. Okay, so is she or is he the voice? Steve Perry is the voice. How is she nicknamed the voice? Unless you have to have one female and one male.
So she's. No, I read they call her the voice. Her nickname was the voice.
I don't remember.
But they said she was the second best singer of all time. Who was the first one, or maybe female?
All time.
Who was above her? I'm assuming it was probably Barbara Streisand, but I don't know. I didn't look that up.
You know what? There's nowhere to click to find out the.
But if it's not Barbara Streisand, then my other guess would be Mariah Carey.
Yeah, maybe.
Which them two sound so similar because when they duetted on Prince of Egypt's "When You Believe,"
right?
I can never tell which one's singing.
You have to watch the video.
I listened to it. I'm like, which one is this again? I can't tell.
Obviously, you watch the video, you'll see Whitney Houston's first, which it should be that way. She came first, right?
Yeah.
Mariah Carey did not have anything in the 80s. 1990
was Mariah Carey's first.
Yes. Year, so you notice we're almost in 80. I don't know if she was 80 or not for our artists. And we finally got to Whitney Houston in our videos. I don't know how many artists. She's 79 or 80. We're getting to the artists, even though we're way far out. These are the ones that hold the records.
Yeah.
So this is what Billboard liked these people, but the good music they didn't like. But she had the record taken away from the Bee Gees, who we just did, and the Beatles before them.
7? I think it was seven consecutive number ones.
That's true, and I don't know if all 7 of those will show up on our list, but out of her 11 number ones, which I don't think is a record, I think Madonna has more than that. Out of her 11, 8 of her number ones are on our list.
Well, she kept breaking a lot of records, and she was even in the Guinness World Book of Records. Guinness Book of World Records.
And most of those had to apply with her being the first black female singer to break a record.
But I don't know if this is true, but this could be true because even though artists have had more than they could have 3 or 4 hits on an album. I'm not sure they are like this, but it was like her second album was like, or maybe it was her first. She had 3 number ones. Maybe she was the first to do that. I don't know. Because you could have 3 hits or 3 or 4 hits, but did you have 3 number ones?
Yeah, I don't know if she was the first.
And then the next album
But being her debut, that was her debut album.
But then her next album, she broke that record by having 4 number ones.
Which album, just like Rod Stewart, which album would you buy?
I would buy probably the first one.
I wouldn't.
You'd buy the second?
I'd buy the second one.
Okay.
Because...
No, wait, no, you are right. I was forgetting which songs. I would do the second one. You're right.
The first one, now she had 4 hits on the first one. 3 of them slow.
Yeah, because she got.
You Give Good Love, Saving All My Love, Greatest Love of All.
Well, I'm just talking about her second album. So Emotional. I Want to Dance with Somebody.
Yes. Yeah, so I like that her videos started getting colorful. That's gotta have helped. That had to have been the reason that she shot up the charts afterwards.
Her cover on the first album too. Her hair is slicked back. It makes me look like
She looks
looks
like look like herself.
She looks like Sade.
Sade is what I thought too. Yeah.
But if you also that's how we remember her, because even her later albums, I looked at her and I'm like, that's not how I remember her.
I know. Yeah, she faded. How old was she when she died?
50. I want to say 50, in her 50s.
Yeah, and it's already been over a decade. So. She was.
Maybe wait, I might be wrong. She might have been like 49, 48. She was 48. She was close to 49.
Okay.
So
it was 4 years after Michael Jackson died. So not a good span. And she was married to Bobby Brown, an artist we haven't done yet.
right.
We will eventually, maybe.
They had a daughter named Bobby Brown.
And she's already dead.
She already died. Yep.
In her 20s.
Which is, and it's not. I was gonna say it's funny. It's not funny, but what's strange funny is that her mom is still alive
In her 90s.
90. She's 90.
Sissy. Okay. And so Whitney Houston, she was in 6 movies. We've already mentioned one, Sparkle.
Right.
If you remember, we did Irene Cara. She was in the original one.
It's funny because Whitney Houston wanted to do a remake 10 years earlier
Right.
with Aaliyah, and Aaliyah died in a plane crash.
Yeah, the year they wanted to make it.
Right.
Yeah,
So 10 years later, and it's funny because it's called Sparkle, and the star is Jordan Sparks. Change your last name to Sparkle.
Does
already.
she still put music out? Is she in
I don't
anything?
know.
Yeah, she came from American Idol, I know.
Yeah.
All right, so out of these 6 movies, 3 are on the board right here because technically, those are really her studio albums.
Yeah.
They're soundtracks, but there's a gap between 3 and 4, and it's because she was putting that soundtrack out.
Yeah. So
Bodyguard apparently beat Saturday Night Fever as the best soundtrack album. So,
and it has "I Will Always Love You,"
which
they say is her signature song, even though Dolly Parton's the one who wrote it.
I know.
And recorded it
almost
in the 70s.
almost 20 years earlier,
Yeah.
and I forgot to listen to Dolly Parton's version.
But everybody's impressed when they hear the song because she sings. Did you see what the seconds were? I think it's like.
You mean when she's prolonging the
Yeah,
sound?
she's singing just vocals. 20 to 30, maybe it's even 45 seconds.
Without breathing?
Before instruments come in.
Oh, okay.
With any accompaniment. So it's just her.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
So everybody's always impressed with that.
I don't know, when I watch a video, I'm just watching the scenes from the movie.
Yeah.
Back when videos were good because you wanted to see part of the movie. Should I go see the movie? Let's put the video on.
Yeah.
So, and I would have thought that movie was based around her,
Yes.
but it was Kevin Costner first, and I guess he picked her as the star based on one of her videos.
Okay. And Kevin Costner, if I'm not mistaken, his wife is black.
Okay.
So-
Is she famous?
No, I'm just saying
Okay.
he's into black women is what I'm saying. Now I'm assuming this. I never read anything about it, but I'm assuming this movie is the basis for the first 10 minutes of Taken.
Why? What?
The music star who's singing and Liam Neeson.
Oh, okay.
She's like, he saves her from being attacked. So.
All right. So what else? She was in The Preacher's Wife with Denzel Washington. So they could have avoided the interracial controversy between Whitney Houston and Kevin Costner. Had Denzel been the bodyguard.
Yeah, they could have. He definitely could
And
have.
honestly, with him being the equalizer, he should have been the bodyguard.
Yes,
It would have made more
definitely-
sense. But instead he was the preacher. So
Right.
I guess I could see him as a preacher and not Kevin Costner.
He's not a preacher.
No, he's not a preacher.
Courtney B. Vance is the creature.
Oh, that's right.
Preacher. He's the angel.
Oh, okay.
He's an angel.
Right, and that was based off of a
The bishop's wife.
Cary
with-
Grant movie.
Yeah, which I've seen. Have you seen that?
I've never seen
Yeah,
that.
I've seen that a long
It's on
time
my
ago.
list, but I still have yet to see it. And then in between was Waiting to Exhale, Girl Power, Black Girl Power.
Right. She was nominated for Best Actress, but lost out to her co-star, Angela Bassett.
Interestingly, she was up for a Razzie Award for The Bodyguard.
Oh yeah.
She didn't win, unlike Madonna
Yeah.
when she played something.
She was in TV. I did see that she was like in Silver Spoons and some other shows like that.
You know, people like
Well,
that.
Give Me a Break? I want to say Give Me a Break, but I'm not sure if that was...
Her TV movie was Cinderella. She obviously was the fairy godmother.
Yes, yeah.
And she has been portrayed.
Okay, so that was from 1997,
Right.
the Cinderella. She was offered the Cinderella part 4 years earlier.
Was she? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably from a different studio would be my guess.
Right. She's been portrayed by other people 6 times since her death. So nobody.
Oh, and Angela Bassett, who's in What Are You Gonna Raise? She also portrayed, of course, Tina Turner in What's Love Got to Do with It.
Yes. After 2000, you know, was not even put the albums on. I don't remember. She went downhill, obviously, with drug use.
Yeah, she started doing drugs with Bobby Brown. Everybody always said Bobby Brown had a bad influence on her, which he probably did. I mean, she died. You can't argue with it, I guess.
It's his prerogative.
Yes. Yeah, but yeah, she's an adult. She can make her own choices. And she said, I guess she was doing drugs beforehand, just not light. She's doing them light.
But you just mentioned crack is whack. Do you know why she said that?
Why?
She was rich.
Oh yeah,
and you can get crack is cheap.
Cheap. I wouldn't get that stuff. Yeah. Yes.
She's not saying don't do drugs. She's saying
don't do the cheap stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That's a mixed message right there, right? Okay. All right. Okay. Lastly, she has similarities to Gloria Estefan, which interestingly, okay, so this to me is well, actually no, you know, here's our similarity to Rod Stewart. Okay, when I gave you the artists list, the whole compilation, I think you put Rod Stewart at 76, and I had Whitney Houston at 80, and me, the other one, vice versa.
Okay.
That's our similarity. You're like, what are you talking about? Never mind. Okay, so she, like Gloria Estefan, who I had just slightly above Whitney Houston. You had her way up there. That's why Gloria Estefan was done 20 years ago.
An album or two, so.
Right. So she did a song for the Olympics, 1988 Olympics, and that's the One Moment in Time.
Right.
And then she also.
And Gloria Estefan did Reach.
And she's the only artist to have the Star Spangled Banner ranked on the Billboard chart. Nobody's ever done that. Just her.
But they say, okay, they're accusing her of lip syncing, but she actually sang it. But the microphone was turned off.
Right.
And they played her pre-recorded.
Yeah, so
they said it's because of the noise.
Was
just you could hear it better.
See, that to me, isn't that still lip syncing?
Yeah, but
I mean, you can still sing it. If the microphone's off, nobody hears you.
They just didn't want her to pull off a Fergie.
Do something on her own that was horrible.
Make it like a sultry song.
Had Fergie lip synced, it would have been okay because they would have had it pre-recorded, done right. So, yeah, and just I listened to that version. I don't know, maybe it was good when it came out. I didn't like it.
Yeah, and I guess her voice was going down because I was reading later on at her concerts, people actually walked out of her concerts.
Yeah.
So, like I said, and then they were saying the voice quality wasn't as good, so she was the voice, then it wasn't.
She was a cracked voice.
Which, I mean, if you look at Mariah Carey now.
Oh, yeah.
Same thing.
I don't know if
you get older.
You probably don't want to go see her in concert. Last time I remember seeing her in concert, she was like immobile, and people had to literally move her body to.
Well, the last thing everybody was talking about was her New Year's Eve thing that she did with the tea or the chocolate, the hot chocolate.
I don't know. Yeah, so and she does have a Christmas album, but it doesn't do anywhere near Mariah Carey's Christmas album. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So would you say Mariah Carey has surpassed Whitney Houston?
Yeah,
I don't think she has the records that Whitney though.
No, she doesn't. But If I would rank who's better, I'd probably put Mariah Carey up there.
Okay. Yeah, but Whitney Houston, she's up there, but she's obviously not one of our top tier artists. Sorry. We still haven't done Janet Jackson. All right. Let's go ahead and get to our top 10.
Ding.
Okay. So, you have one honorable mention. I have two. So let's start with mine since I have more. I have Step by Step. And I did not know this. That's a remake. She has a lot of remakes from people. Step by Step.
She did Higher Love. Was that Steve Winwood?
That was posthumous. So that one, I don't know if she did that or somebody took her voice and made it because she was obviously long dead when that one came out.
No, it was probably a pre-recorded and just never released.
Okay, maybe one of those. So Step by Step, that was off of the Preacher's Wife, I believe.
Okay.
And I forget who the original artist was. And then my other song is Where Do Broken Hearts Go? I like that one. I put that in my top 10.
Where do they go?
Yes, like it's heaven. So your heart
this was broke. Get rid of it. Okay, you got another one over there that's like not broke.
It's a scrap heap. It's in the landfill. Okay, and then you only have one honorable mention.
We now have another Rod Stewart thing because we were talking about hearts.
Oh, so
Vagabond Heart and
right? Yes, she did. She had a lot of love in hers too.
Yeah,
so you have one honorable mention, right? Which means you got 9 out of the 10.
Okay.
The one you didn't get. Didn't we almost have it all?
So I almost had it all.
Off by one.
I didn't.
Off by one. That and they think that came from her second album.
Okay.
So that's what you have on your top 10, I believe, 4 off of that second album. So that's why you would get that one. Even though The Bodyguard's a soundtrack, but it's still considered a studio album for her. So that would be her highest selling album for Whitney herself. Okay, so that brings us to number 10. Like I said, only 2 of these songs are not number 1s. Number 10 is from The Bodyguard. It's I Will Always Love You. I have this at 9. You have it at 12. And she's dead, so not always.
Well, obviously she meant while she was alive. That means, well, and that, so it's like, it's one of those, when they say that, they're like, no, we're getting divorced, but I always love you. Yeah. You'll be over there, though, but I'll still, it's one of those.
Yeah. Again, this was a Dolly Parton song. When she wrote it, she was talking about somebody she had to let go who worked for her. And she goes, "Anyway, see ya, but I'll always love you. You just won't get a paycheck." Okay, next one up, number 9. Coming from her debut was Saving All My Love for You. I have this at 12. You have it at 7.
Well, obviously, this is about the person she just talked about in the previous song. Because if it's all for you, right, then there's none for anybody else, right?
Right. You are correct. And I don't know. Was that a remake? I see all these songs blended. What I was
no, I don't think that one was.
Okay. I think Didn't We Almost Have It All was from a guy, and I can't remember who either. So I've done a lot of good research here. Number 8, coming from her debut as well, The Greatest Love of All. I have this at 6. You have it at 8. Do you know what the greatest love of all is?
Oh, well, it would be God sending his son to die for everybody, but yes, that is not what she's talking about.
No, she's
talking about children, right?
Well, no, that's in the lyrics. But no.
She says the children of our future.
Yes,
so.
But she actually defines it.
Okay.
She said it's when you love yourself.
Oh, isn't it?
So, okay, enough of that. The second greatest love would be dying for somebody else. And, obviously, if you're not God, you jump in front of a bullet for somebody else. That's like The Bodyguard. I think that's how he died. Didn't he die in that?
I don't remember. It's been a long time since I saw it. Not the year it came out, probably the next year. That's the last time I saw it.
Okay.
So,
All right, number 7, our first non-number 1 song, coming from The Bodyguard. It's "I'm Every Woman." I have it at 5. You have it at 9. It only went to number 4. And how can one person
be everyone.
be every woman?
Yeah, and I think she's talking to Joe. She's like, I represent
Yes,
every woman's
yes,
voice.
obviously.
Now, that song, is it, what did I have it at?
You had it at 9.
I'll tell you why it's low on the list.
Okay.
The first half of the song.
Yes.
Slow. It doesn't
is.
speed up until the second half. So
Yeah, it does take a while. But
yeah. It just popped into my head though. But Kevin Costner plays the bodyguard.
yes,
Wasn't he also in a movie called The Guardian?
he was.
What's the difference?
They called him the Guardian, but he was part of the Coast Guard.
I know what he was part of,
Yes.
but I'm saying a guardian and a bodyguard. What's the difference? They both have guard in it.
Yeah, and you know, is that saying the Coast Guard is short, and it's really you're really called the Coast Guardian?
Yeah. Good
Okay.
question. Is it the bodyguardian then?
Anytime you have the word guard,
Yeah.
I-A-N should be at the end of it. Okay. All right, number 6, coming from "I'm Your Baby Tonight," which so that's the title of the album as well. Was a number 1. You had it as your number 1 song, but I put it at 11, so it wasn't even in my top 10. Yes, I put "Where Did Broken
Did
Hearts
you
Go?"
listen to it?
I did.
You just forgot how it sounded when you started reading it, probably.
Yeah, and this is "All the Man That I Need," and I think this one was also.
Does she?
a remix.
I think she does. She does say that, right? in the song?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, her lyrics changed. The original was "All the Man I Need." With that, she added the word "that," which makes a huge difference. Okay, yeah, I don't know if I didn't really care for that song. Even in her outfit too was unflattering. Okay, number 5, her other non-number 1 song, which you have at 3 and I have at 7, is "I Have Nothing," which is also on the Bodyguard soundtrack. This would be our highest Bodyguard.
All right, so I really began to like this song from American Idol.
Who sang it?
I don't remember. There's
Okay.
a black woman that sang it. 'Cause so
Mandisa?
obviously, huh?
Mandisa?
No. This was like early seasons,
Okay.
5, 6, something like
okay.
that. She came out and sang this, and I didn't realize
The
that song.
Fantasia.
I don't remember.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't know. It does a chord key change. And she did an excellent job, whoever sang it.
Yeah, okay.
I think you might be right. It might be Fantasia.
She had that one.
Yeah.
Last song she ever did was a showstopper because she was doing all this stuff on the stage.
Okay.
Okay.
Boy, it did that. And it did that key change. I just began liking the song. She did
Yeah, at the
awesome
end,
job.
definitely at the end. I don't wanna whatever she says anymore. Anyways, and the movie or the video, she's got those weird hats on, made of jewelry. They're shaped like a hat, but it's jewelry. That's kind of weird. Okay, number 4. Let's see. I have this one at 4. You have it at 5. It's the song that gets played the most on the radio. Could you guess based on that? What do you think gets played the most?
I Will Always Love You.
No. You hear "I Will Always Love You" on the radio?
I Want to Dance with Somebody?
Yes.
Okay.
Who loves me? In parentheses. So what was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 words in the title. Her longest title. I want to dance with somebody who loves me. God forbid you dance with somebody who doesn't love you. Everybody who dances with me has to love me. Okay. And the video is kind of cool because it goes through different periods. Obviously, the end when she's in that all black is Funny Face. If you've seen that movie,
I've seen Funny Face and
Yeah,
Funny Girl.
where she's in that though. Not
Funny Girl is
the
not
one. No, the Funny Face. The The one with Audrey Hepburn.
Yeah, I'm thinking
Audrey-
a funny lady is what
No,
I'm saying.
the one with Audrey Hepburn.
Okay.
Where she does her, French fancy dancing thingy. Like she's in a cafe overseas.
No, I have not seen that.
Okay, I saw that one. Anyways, that's from that. And she also played Marlene Dietrich, which is weird. She's not. She looks like a man. I don't know why people want to imitate her. Okay, so that is number 4 for us. And the one thing that stood out to me, talk about different instruments people don't play anymore. In her lyrics before leading up to the chorus, you hear those clavinets or whatever, those clickies thingies. That's pretty neat addition. All right, number 3, my favorite song of hers, and you put it at 6. The one that really got with her starting to play on heavy
MTV.
rotation for MTV.
How will I know?
How will I know?
Yeah, because that's the first song I remember
Me too.
of hers. So
Yes, and it's the keyboard stand out. There was a saxophone solo.
yeah, and I would say this is. I mean, it's the first time I remember. It's probably her cutest look.
Yeah.
She's got the little bow in her hair.
Good
so.
thing with the makeups on the eyelids, different, very colorful.
She was young. Was she 18 when she was making this video?
She couldn't have been 8. She had to have been in her 20s by now. Anyways, so things that stand out.
I'm pretty sure 70. Let's see. She died in 2012,
I have
right?
to look it up. When was she born?
That's what I'm saying. She was died. I said she was 48. She
Okay.
died in 2012. Is that right?
Okay, so take off the 12 from 48, 36.
36.
And this came in 85, so take off another 15.
So okay, she was in her 20s maybe.
Yes,
Okay.
early 20s. Doing math right before your eyes. Okay, so yeah, how will I know? Aside from the music standing out, you know what stands out? That creepy one thing the outfit that 8 people are wearing all at the same time. It's like this blanket with head holes. They're all wearing it. So that would be interesting to get in. And then walk around it. How about that other guy who's he's got the wedding outfit on? Half of him is the tuxedo, and the other half is the wedding
bride.
dress.
Yeah.
And then Aretha Franklin, they supposedly made.
I've seen somebody do that. I think it was maybe a comedian.
Right.
But he'd face the audience
Yes,
this way,
yeah.
and then he'd turn. Yeah,
Right.
so.
I kind of vaguely remember that. Okay, so that's my number 1, but came in at 3 for us. All right, next one. The best song of hers with a guitar solo, and that would be So Emotional. I have this at 2. You have it at 4. And ain't it shocking what love could do? That's what she says. I never knew that. I had to listen. You're like, oh, okay.
Ain't it shocking that what love can do? Does she say it again then, whispering? Maybe it's shocking
Yes.
what love can do.
Yes. And the start too when she talks. The music starts playing and she's like, I don't know why I like you,
But I do.
All right, so, and she did before Mariah Carey. She had the voice inflections too. She went woo. Okay, and that brings us to our number 1 song, which we've already mentioned. Trying to reference Rod Stewart. It was your number 2, my number 3, and that's "I'm Your Baby Tonight."
Different.
Yeah. Well, I like this.
Does she have another song that's a hit? That's like
No, and it's a triple song.
Yeah, so
It's a triple song. She sings really fast on a lot of the lyrics. And I was reading, she, because people were saying she was starting to sound white. So she went to the 3rd album and tried to go back to her roots being black. Because, I don't know, she got booed.
Well, they're saying the second album was too similar to her first album. I know that I read that.
She was at, like, I don't know if she was on Solid Gold or something, or some Soul Train. She was at one of those kind of events singing her songs. She got booed because her song sounded white. And so she went back to being black. So she wasn't changing her look like Michael Jackson and trying to appear white. So yeah, our number 1, "I'm Your Baby Tonight." Do you agree? I mean, you gotta agree. Almost all of these are number 1s.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's happened for us. Having so close.
As long as you have those songs in your top 10, you're okay. You get some of the other ones that we didn't even mention. Boo.
Yeah, her last number one. I don't know anybody who would include that in her list. Shoop, shoop, exhale.
Yeah.
That should not have been a number one, but it also went to show.
That album was produced by Babyface.
Yes.
And he wanted her to do the entire album.
Right.
And Whitney said she wanted to do it to
representation of all the other
women that were out there, Aretha Franklin and Jodie Watley, I think was one of them.
Probably.
Yeah. So any black female singer that was out there, she wanted.
That would be the reason. Maybe they like that album. We don't. So she headed down. That's where her start of her downfall. And she's like, the album wasn't any good. And Bobby Brown's like, here, take this. No?
Now, are they holding their breath?
What?
They're waiting to exhale. Are they holding their breath?
Yes. Okay, I don't have anything for that.
All right, so next week, rounding out another. We rounded out Genesis with Peter Gabriel a couple weeks ago.
With four videos for that group.
Yeah. So now we're doing another group where we had
4 videos.
Yeah.
Although it's a little bit different because obviously 2 of the videos connect. You had the band with the lead singer.
No,
and his
actually,
solo.
we had 3 right away.
We did.
So, but
we count that third
yeah.
one because it was just no. Anyways, it's David Lee Roth, and you're saying he didn't really do much out there. You're right. He was basically just a gigolo.
Yeah, you know what's funny about him? Well, we should just talk about this next week. Is I think he was in Vegas for a while, and he kind of looks like he could be a lounge lizard. You know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay. So David Lee Roth next week, rounding out Van Halen's list. It's not possible to have anybody else represented for Van Halen, right? Okay. So that's next week, and we'll see you then. Bye.